Hello everyone, we are at MAF 11th edition, second day, August 10th, and we are with the Dubioza Kolective. So thank you for being here. And Dubioza Kolective is a really important and huge band coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is founded in 2003. And since then, over the past 20 years, you have been playing in major musical contests like the Jazz Festival, and you appeared alongside like others international artists like Manu Chao as well. And in general, you attracted many fans coming from different cultural backgrounds and different countries. All are united to your music for different reasons, but mainly because of like your identity, your musical identity, and your musical initiative as well. Because this is one thing that really stuck me, which was that you are not just about composing songs, but you are more about delivering a message with your music and with your philosophy. So my question is, which are the values that brought like Dubioza Collective to the peak they are enjoying right now?
You're asking tough questions. I feel like I'm on a job interview right now. Uh, I don't. You mentioned some bands. You mentioned some artists that we work with and that we share worldview with, and I guess the values that we really promote, considering that we're coming from, let's say, problematic region with very ugly things happening in the recent history. I guess it all revolves around tolerance and inclusion and all these positive messages that you can bring, and also kind of considering that background. Also, I think we have a lot of uh, leverage and right to talk about certain issues. For example, how the rise of right-wing forces and political parties in Balkans brought not very pleasurable times in our countries, and 20 years later we see a lot of similar things happening in all around Europe and all around the world with right wings rising, and we we kind of try to warn people, but not like through preaching and through like holding political speeches, but just through some songs that we try to use humor and lighter side of all this that happened to us, and in order to kind of get those experiences closer to people, so maybe they will start thinking about that in a different way.
It's so true. A lot of the things you are saying is what we are seeing right now in Italy and in a lot of countries in Europe. So it's clearly a situation we have going on right now. But going back, or well, moving to your music, we'd like to ask you something about the main themes and, if you want, the core values of your lyrics. We heard some of your music, and we heard that you speak a lot of times about belonging, about loyalty, about staying true to your values, to your country, to your home side. So we would like to ask you how important are all these values to you in your ordinary life? I mean, not only in your song, but are these also your true values in your everyday lives?
To be honest, not very much. We are not really patriotic in this classical sense that we represent a nation or a country or a way of life. I mean, we have like people from 5 different countries in a band from the Balkan region, and it's kind of a mix of everything you can imagine coming from that area, and we truly don't believe into this waving of flags and representing countries like in Eurovision song context. It's like it doesn't make sense in reality. So we but what we do, like we like to play with stereotypes and with all these distorted perceptions of Balkans, and also how people from Balkan perceive ourselves in very very strange way, and also how we are perceived when we go to Western Europe, for example, and all this is very good topic for a conversation, and it talks a lot about us and about people on the other side of the fence. And it is interesting topic, so we kind of cannot escape from that from the beginning.
I want to talk about Balkan culture because you are like, in your music you can feel like this being like Balkan thing. So I would like, can you explain Balkan culture to us somehow?
It's hard to explain. How would you explain Italian culture to somebody who, it's just so many different things that in combination makes you what you are and makes us what we are. And it's very fluid. It's very fluid identity that kind of have its positive and its negative sides, and we're not exactly proud of either of that. We just play around with this. But what is important for us is when we're talking about stuff that we spoke about in your first question, about values, about things that we want to promote or start conversation about. The fact that we are coming from the Balkans it gives different perspective to those stories, and then that was our idea why we wanted to put the Balkan sound into our music, is that people from the first note realize and recognize where we're coming from, and then it is a start of a conversation in a completely different level. When they know about it, then they can relate to the recent history, and then they can hear the songs and things that we talk about in a different way.
Now, moving to our festival, of course, you still have to play. Your show will be tonight, but you already have been here for some hours. You just finished your sound check, and we would like to ask you, how are you living our festival? What do you think about our ways of making music on the beach by the sea, and what are the vibes that you are perceiving being here with us today for your show this evening, later on?
It's hard to talk about that in advance. So we really like these shows on the beach and on the seaside, and I also like the way how you are optimistic and you don't have a roof on stage, so you're totally positive that it will not rain and there will be nothing wrong with weather. So that's yesterday we played in UK, and that it's different type of at least weather conditions and mentality. So they are prepared for mud even in middle of the August. So it's good to be on the opposite side of the continent, on the beach. So we will see how the show will go on tonight, but we don't expect anything but fun.
Okay, we thank you for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and we are all looking forward to your show tonight. So we just can't wait to listen to you on stage, and thank you again for your time and your interview.